Peter Pan and Wendy is now out streaming on Disney+. Yeah, did you guys forget this was coming out too? Because this was not marketed very well. I totally forgot about it. So what I will say is that this is a retelling of the Peter Pan story, and if you are going to watch this movie, you are going to watch this movie for Jude Law as Captain Hook. Jude Law as Captain Hook is by far the best part of this movie, best performance of this movie. His villainous take on Hook is very entertaining to watch. They also give Hook a backstory to make him a little bit more sympathetic, which I thought was actually pretty interesting for the character. But make no mistake, this is a bad guy. I mean, Hook talks about executing children multiple times in this movie and even attempts to on more than one occasion. If that doesn't tell you he's a bad guy, I don't know what does. Also, some of the set pieces were kind of fun, kind of creative, kind of cool. There's a lot of sword fighting going on, you know, Peter Pan, Hook, they kind of do that thing. But aside from all that, I didn't really like this movie all that much. Going to the title characters, Peter Pan and Wendy. Let's talk about Peter Pan and Wendy. So Wendy is played by Ever Anderson, and I actually thought that she did a good job in the movie. I think she has a career ahead of her. I thought she was fine. I don't like criticizing child performances. You know, mostly I blame bad child performances on directors because directors are supposed to bring out good performances from their actors, especially children. So when it comes to Alexander Molony as Peter Pan in this movie, I did not prefer this portrayal of the character. When you think of Peter Pan, and I'm not going to act like I'm the biggest Peter Pan fan out there or whatever, but Peter Pan, he's a trickster, he's mischievous, he's got charisma to him, and I did not find any of that in this kid's performance. Not to say that he was necessarily bad in the film, but when it comes to a Peter Pan, what you think of the Peter Pan character, it did not feel like it was captured well in this movie and in this performance. But trust me, Peter Pan and Wendy are the least of the movie's problem. This movie does not have a story. This movie is structured kind of weirdly. The pacing is so off in this movie to me. This movie consists of Peter Pan fighting Hook, then Hook taking the Lost Boys, Peter Pan rescuing the Lost Boys, and fighting Hook until eventually credits start rolling on the screen. That's not to say there's not attempts at themes, because Peter Pan, it's all about, you know, growing up, not growing up, the fear of growing up. It's not that it doesn't have those themes, it's just that the movie drops them and doesn't do anything with those themes. And in doing so, this movie does not feel like it has a point of even existing. It doesn't feel like this movie has anything to say. This movie is also kind of depressing. I mean, there's just a lot of sad things and dramatic elements happening, but because you don't really care about the characters, you don't really care about the drama, and in that way, the movie just becomes boring. This movie was a sluggish movie to get through. It felt like this movie was way more than an hour and 46 minutes. And a lot of the times it felt like this movie just kind of assumed that you loved Peter Pan or already knew the Peter Pan story, because this movie, it doesn't care about setups. It just throws you into every scenario. There's no character introductions. There's no setup for scenes. Things just happen and then they stop. Characters come in out of nowhere. They don't need any explanation, apparently. The Lost Boys, you don't ever know a single name of the Lost Boys. I guarantee you can't name me one in the comment section. They leave no impression on you whatsoever. But look, it's a Disney Plus movie. I wasn't expecting much from this movie. This is basically the equivalent of putting something straight to DVD on the shelves in Walmart at this point. It had no magic, it had no charisma, it had no soul behind it. Some of the characters try to have comedic moments. Jim Gaffigan, one of my favorite comedians, is in this movie as Smee, and I didn't even get one chuckle from him in this whole thing. I don't even think kids will enjoy this all that much. It's not that fun of a watch. It's kind of bleak at moments. Yeah, so for that reason, I'm going to have to say I don't recommend Peter Pan and Wendy. Don't watch this. It's just a waste of time. Go hang out with your family or friends or something. Anyway, guys, those are all my thoughts and opinions on Peter Pan and Wendy. But I want to hear from you. What did you think of Peter Pan and Wendy? Did you even watch it? Be honest. Down in the comment section, tell me. Did you even watch it? And hey, if you loved it, I want to hear from you. I want to hear all your thoughts, why you loved it. And in case you didn't know, guys, if you're new here, we have a goal on the channel. We want to hit 2,500 subscribers before the end of the year. If you like talking movies and entertainment and pop culture and all that kind of stuff, we do that a lot on the channel, so you are definitely in the right spot. Consider hitting that subscribe button on your way out. And thank you guys for watching the video as always. I hope to talk to you guys again real soon.